Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the You Look Happier podcast. Today I'm joined by Erin, who has suffered throughout her life with a skin condition. Now, rather than me explaining it in my words, I think it would be easier for us to let Erin talk about how this has affected her, both physically but maybe mentally as well. We've also got a Q&A session at the end where our listeners have asked us some questions, which is a sort of new edit for season 2 of the podcast. So, Erin, welcome to the podcast. How are you feeling?
Yes, good, thank you. A little bit nervous, but I'm good.
Nerves are normal. Hopefully, once we start chatting and stuff, then it will just flow and you'll feel more relaxed.
Cool.
So, I've mentioned a little bit about why you're here, but could you share in your own words what you've been going through and your story a little bit for the listeners?
Yeah. So I have had eczema since I was 6 months old. My mum's best friend husband discovered it on my neck when I was a baby. It's not a genetic thing. It's not something that your child gets from pregnancy or anything like that. It's just something that can just happen. I have since then now got it on my entire body from top of my head down to my toes. My worst places are my hands, my feet, my elbows. Sometimes get it on my neck, sometimes get it on my face. I get it on my scalp quite a lot. But I think over time, obviously from when I was a child, over time I've grown to become quite proud of it and quite proud of the things that I've overcome from it, and it's kind of built up my character a little bit as well. But yeah, I've had it since I was a baby, really, and it's been a journey trying to be proud of it. Obviously, when you're a child, kids can be cruel about it, but as an adult now, I think I'm trying to embrace it a little bit more rather than be ashamed of it.
I love that.
Silly, yeah.
And I think even when, like, we spoke previously about you coming onto the podcast, I definitely noticed that you are embracing it and you have managed to change your mindset about what it is that you've been going through for so long.
Yeah.
If I take you back to obviously being a baby, not that you can remember when you're that young,
Yeah.
but so it's not genetic
No.
and it can just appear.
Yeah, it can just appear. It's very common with children, though. A lot of children have it and a lot of children grow out of it.
Wow.
So when I had a baby, the doctors would tell my mom, this is more from her words rather than mine, but they told her, oh, when she gets to about 5 or 6, she'll grow out of it. Got to 5 or 6, oh, when she's a teenager, she'll grow out of it. Got to a teenager, didn't grow out of it. Oh, when you've got your 20s, I'm 25 now, and it's not going anywhere, really.
Wow.
But it's definitely got better. From when I was a kid, you can't really control what you're doing and things, whereas as an adult I can control things. Like right now I'm talking to you, I could scratch about 15 different places on my body, but I'm not going to because I'm in a public setting. Whereas when you're a child, obviously you don't really have that much control over what you're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I would go to school and my hands would be cut open. I couldn't open up my hands. I had cuts on the back of my knees, so I couldn't walk sometimes. I used to never really get any sleep because I'd be scratching throughout the night. My mum used to stay up all night and stroke my hands and stroke my feet and everything. She used to put creams on for me all the time, so she never got any sleep, bless her. But yeah, it was,
Wow.
yeah, it was hard when I was a kid, definitely, and especially being at school. Kids don't really understand those kind of things.
Yeah, of course.
And I think some kids, I don't think were actually being cruel about it. I think they just genuinely didn't understand it. And my school were great. My primary school was incredible. They even did assemblies on it and stuff like that. But it still didn't really change too much for me. And I think, again, I don't really remember this, but my mum said I used to come home from school and get really upset because no one would play with me. No one would come near me because kids thought you could catch it. They thought if they went near me, they could catch the skin disease. And obviously that was really hard as a child. But again, I don't really remember that much. I think I've kind of blocked it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But my mum remembers it really clearly. But yeah, it's just something you go through. But
I am so sorry that you went through that, and what an amazing mum that you have, by the way.
Really, really good mum. She's incredible.
So, for those that don't know anything about eczema, it's you're mentioning like scratching.
Yeah.
So for somebody that is living with eczema, what is it? Is it painful? Is it just itchy and then it's painful? Like, how does it affect you?
So there's loads of different types of eczema.
Right.
But I've got atopic eczema, which is the most common type.
Okay.
But I've just got quite a severe case of it. So atopic eczema, you get it because of things that react to your skin. So I have a lot of allergies, and I've only recently realised that they're actually connected to my eczema as well.
Wow.
So I have a nut allergy, I have a shellfish allergy, I'm allergic to a lot of animals, probably most animals really. And they're all connected. I get really bad hay fever. So it's all kind of connected in that way. And the atopic eczema is very dry, it's very flaky, and it itches quite a lot as well. So, but there's loads of different types. And I think, I don't know what they're all called, but there's some that are quite red and blotchy and they'll be raised. But I've got the dry version of it. So my skin's very dry, and especially in the wintertime, it's really bad. So putting my heating on can dry out my skin quite a lot. That's why I try and go on holiday. So I get the sun and I get the sea. And that's really good for eczema. But I think every single type of eczema is different. Someone could have the same type of eczema as me, but they can be allergic to loads of different things. And I could give a cream that could be great for mine, but terrible for theirs.
Wow.
So it's quite hard when people go, oh no, you have to use this cream. And I use it and it either makes no difference or it just makes my skin worse. So I'm very, very particular on what I use on my skin. I don't use any like Lush, even though I'd love to, use like Lush bath bombs or anything like that. I'm very particular about my makeup that I use on my face. I don't use any sort of perfumed shower gels or anything like that. And I have to be careful with types of shampoo and conditioner I use. But I think it's crazy because I've had it since I was a baby. So I don't really know any different. I don't really know, oh, I'm really sad I can't use that. I'm just like, oh no, I know I can't use that. If that makes sense. So
it says a lot about your character though already. You know, I'm dealing with this, I've lived with this, but I've always lived through this, so I've never known anything else. When you were a baby, were you in pain? Is that sort of what your mum was saying, that you weren't sleeping because it was painful, or was it just discomfort?
I think because I was a baby, you obviously put mittens on a baby to stop them scratching.
Yeah.
And that's what my mum would do with me. And she said I was a great baby. She said I never cried until I got eczema when I was 6 months. She said, and then I just didn't sleep. And she could tell the only reason why I was crying was because of my skin. So she went back to work 4 weeks after having me. She was a housekeeping manager, but the woman who was due to take over from her, her husband sadly died. So my mum had to go back to work 4 weeks after having a C-section, which is insane.
C-section as well.
I know. And on her feet 24 hours a day. It's crazy. But she went back to work and then she never got any sleep because she was always doing my creams. We would sit and watch VHS tapes. I don't know if anyone actually watches
Yeah,
VHS
I remember them,
tapes.
yeah.
Yeah. But we used to sit and watch Disney movies and things like that. And she said the reason why I was crying and my pain was discomfort, pain, scratching. Obviously my skin would then bleed and cut, and it's just, when I was a kid, it was hard from when I was a child. But again, I don't think I really remember it that much. I remember having big cuts on my hands and things like that, but I feel like I remember more being as a teenager and trying to deal with it as a teenager than a child. I don't know, maybe I've just blocked it out. I don't know. But
Potentially.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
When things are difficult for us, or when we've gone through challenging times, it's easier for us to be able to maybe close the door on that. And because otherwise, if it keeps impacting us, we can't move forwards.
Of course. Yeah.
And you strike me, especially with how you've explained that you deal with it now, that you have found a way somehow to live with this and live through this. So you may have blocked it out.
Maybe, yeah.
So I imagine there's been a lot of trial and error with trying to, use different creams. And can you remember any of that? Like when you were a child, was it frustrating for you?
Yeah, I think trying to, bless her, my mom, she is obsessed with TikTok and she's constantly sending me TikToks on eczema. I think it's all over her For You page. It's not over mine, but it's over hers. And she's constantly sending me balms and creams and things like that. And growing up, people used to always recommend me things.
Okay.
And I think my parents, they imported something from like India or China, and it actually turned our bath green. So we had to get a new bath.
The outside, not the water.
The actual bath, yeah.
Oh my
It
God.
turned the actual bath green, so we had to get a new bath. But to that, that was nothing to my mum. She was like, as long as it nearly cured you, but it didn't do anything.
Right.
So my mum was constantly trying things. She would import things, order things online, order things from different friends. I tried switching up my diet multiple times, but don't get me wrong, things have definitely helped, but nothing's ever completely got rid of it or cured it.
Right.
As much as you try. But yeah.
What a woman, your mum.
She's great. She's amazing. She's amazing. She's brilliant. Yeah.
How were like healthcare professionals, stuff like that? Did you find that you got the support that you needed?
Yes and no. A lot of doctors would just be like, oh, just try this pill or just try this cream.
So there was like pills as well?
Yeah, I took pills as well, and that would make me either really tired or really, I don't know, I think one of them made me really energetic, really weirdly.
Okay.
But it's been good in some ways, but I've only recently just been asked to go to a dermatologist. And obviously I'm 25 and I've had it for about 25 years. And I've only recently just tried to refer me to a dermatologist. And that, I think I was on like a 6-month waiting list or something crazy like that. And I'm not saying that people don't have it worse than me, because 110% they do. But I think it was just crazy that it took so long for them to try and put me on a list.
I think that is absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Erin.
Yeah.
Like, you're 25, dermatologist, and I know I have zero knowledge about how everything works, but for me, dermatologists look after skin and skin conditions, and that should have been one of the first things that you should have been referred to.
I know, but it wasn't. They have given me loads of different creams, bath oils, but they've only ever tamed my eczema. They've never got rid of it, if that makes sense. So it's made it okay to live with, but not to cure it. I've never been able to get rid of it fully. And it's going to sound really sad or really negative, but I don't feel like it's ever really going to completely go, because it's also a mental thing. So if I'm really stressed or anxious about something, I will just scratch, and it's kind of like a mental thing to do. I also do it in my sleep. So I don't know that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it will ever completely go, because I've had it all my life. I know when I'm stressed to just scratch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know.
It sounds like you've been through really tough times with this, and there's been struggles and there's been challenges. And what I am focused on is how positive you are about it now. But how has this over your life impacted you on more of a like mental health kind of scenario?
Yeah.
If at all.
Yeah. It has. When I was a teenager, obviously, you're very conscious of the way you look when you're a teenager, and you're going into secondary school and all these things. I was very conscious of it in that way. Going to school and seeing if people would notice it. But then it was strange going from primary school to secondary school. No one really noticed it.
Okay.
And I don't think it's more the way that it looks on my hands and my feet that bothers me. It's more people seeing me scratch that I get a little bit conscious of. Like just the other day I was in the gym and I was doing a class and I got really hot, and because I've got it on my scalp at the moment, I don't always have it on my scalp, I have it every now and again, I was scratching my head and I thought, oh God, people are going to think I've got bloody nits in my hair, or people are going to think I'm not clean or something like that. So I think that's the way that it affects me sort of mentally wise, is I'm scared that people are looking at me. I'm scared that people are judging me. I've got a job where I'm always on my feet and I'm public facing. So are people going to notice it when I'm talking to them? Or if I get a bit stressed when I'm talking to them, am I going to scratch? They're going to think, oh God, what is she doing? I think that's the only part really that's mentally ever affected me.
Right.
And then I think growing up as a teen, going to sleepovers and things, sleep over at your friend's house or something like that, you never slept over there before. I was really worried that I'd do it in my sleep. And they'd be like, oh my God, what is she doing? That's so gross, or something like that. Whereas now, all my friends that I stay over or something like that, they just know. They know, and no one's ever said anything to me about it. So I don't know if it's maybe just a mental thing that I'm a bit conscious of, but
potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I I can't notice it. Like, you've been here for what, like 45 minutes while we were waiting, and then we've coming in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known, Erin, and that's not just me saying it to make you feel better. I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things, isn't it? If we're conscious of something, we then
Yeah.
overthink it, and then we're like hypersensitive of it. You know, like
Exactly.
if somebody's got a cough, I know it's not on the same scale,
Yeah, I
but
know
it's
what you
like,
mean.
right, I need to stop. If you're in a meeting at work, I
Yeah.
need to stop coughing now because I've coughed loads of times.
Yeah.
With the scratching, it's something which you may have potentially just embedded in your mind
Yeah.
that you're aware of.
Exactly.
But I'd be interested to know if other people are as aware, which is a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No one's ever said anything to me. I think the only time recently that someone's ever said anything to me was I had loads of cuts all over my hands just because it had been a bad time with my eczema. And I work in a hotel, so I was checking someone in. And this older guy said to me, he said, "Oh God, have you been in a fight or something?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "You've been on a fight. Look at your hands." I was like, "Oh, I've got a skin condition." He was like, "Oh." And then he just laughed it off. And it was like, "I thought you'd been in a fight." And I was like, "This is really strange." But I just laughed it off. I didn't really think anything of it.
Yeah.
And then he walked away. And then one of my colleagues said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." They were like, "That was so rude what he just said to you." I was like, "Oh God." I was like, "It's nothing." It didn't mean it in a malicious way. And he was like, "Yeah, but anyone else, that would really affect them." And I was like, I feel like it's just a normal thing now. If someone sees a cut on my hand, "Oh God, how have you got that?" "Oh, I've got eczema." "Oh, right, okay." And then it's just brushed off. But no, I don't really get that often. It's only very rare that happens. But yeah.
And I agree. It is quite rude that person said that to
Yeah.
you. But what is coming through from you even sharing this story is your resilience to things. Talk to me about that then. So talk to me about how you have, or you can sit in front of me today saying, I've lived with this since I was a baby. It's affected me on quite a large scale. However, I am more of a confident person than maybe you would see somebody to be that's lived with this, and you've overcome it in so many ways. How has that happened?
I think the people around me definitely have made me feel more confident about it. And my mum genuinely has. She's always made me feel so confident about it. She's always been like, it's just part of who you are. You just embrace it. And I always have done. I'm now in a relationship, and I have been for 2 years now. And he has always been so kind to me about it. He's never been like, "Oh God, that's gross." He's sat there, been like, when we're watching telly, and he'll just do that to my hands or something like that.
Oh.
He's really sweet about it. And I think I surround myself with people that have always been really kind to me about it, or have been there for me if it's been really bad and I've been sat there crying about it because I'm in so much pain, or of how it looks. Because, like I said, I'm in a public facing job. So if my skin's really red or flaky when I go to work, I'm worried that someone's going to notice that. But everyone has always just been really kind to me. And I think through that, I've then become really confident in it. And I've just embraced it as who I am. And it might change. I might find a cream within the next few months that's going to completely change it. But for now, it's who I am, and I'm just going to completely embrace it. Yeah, I always have done. Yeah.
It's just so inspirational.
Oh,
Genuinely, it is. Because what you said to me before, obviously before today and when we were chatting before, your skin is just on the outside, and it's what's on the inside that matters. But by the sounds of things, you've managed to actually put them both together. So it's not just, I'm just going to ignore what's on the outside and focus on the in. By doing that, you're also just embracing you as a person.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from? You mentioned mum. So mum's sort of built up your confidence.
Definitely.
But that resilience, is it just part of you?
I think so. I think it's just a part of who I am. And because I've never known life without it, it's just my life. And I would never go, "Oh, hi, my name's Erin, I've got eczema." It's never been a part of my personality. I just think it's just who I am in general on the outside. And I don't know, I think it makes me more proud of who I am and what I've overcome in terms of being bullied at school for it, or people mentioning it, or I don't know, things like that. I think it's just made me more confident on the outside.
I love that.
Therefore, inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely key. I bang on about this sort of stuff all of the time. We all have insecurities. I have loads of people that I know, everybody that I know will have something or a number of things that they're insecure about. And we have a choice. And I know it's easy to say, but we have a choice whether we sort of wear it as a badge and hide behind it to say, I'm insecure about this, so that is going to prevent me from doing what I want to do, overcoming my fears, becoming the person I want to be. Or we can actually take whatever that is and go, do you know what? There's limited that I can do about this thing. If there is something that I can do and I really want to, I can. But does it define who I am as a person? And it absolutely doesn't.
No, not at all.
No matter what it is.
No.
I've had different guests come on here and we've spoken about different things like mental health, sort of physical appearance. And we're all dealing with our own issues. And I'm really sad to hear that there has been times in your life where people maybe haven't understood it.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. I think, like at school, even with the little kids, they just didn't understand what it was. So that way they're a bit scared of it. But now I've got nieces and nephews. And two of my nephews, they're both 4. And they've both asked me about it. They've gone, oh, Auntie Ez, what's all on your hands? And I said, oh, it's just Auntie Ez got poorly hands. She just needs to put lots of cream on it. And they're like, oh, okay. And it's not in a malicious way. It's not oh, God, I wouldn't go near it. Because that's not what kids are made to think. They just don't understand things. But when you explain it, then that's fine. And I do think it's the same with adults as well. They'll go, oh, God, what's on your hands? They look so painful. I'm like, oh, no, it's just eczema. But I've had it since I was a kid, so it's okay. And they're like, oh, right, okay. And then that's it. That's the end of conversation.
Because that statement right there explains everything that they need to know. It shows that you're okay with it. And it literally just deads it in the water, doesn't it?
Exactly. And I think no one's ever, in my adult life anyway, been like, oh, God, that's grim. That's horrible. Because I don't think people are really made to say things like that. And if they do, I'd just walk straight away. But yeah, no one's ever really been like that to me, which I think has helped with my confidence as well. And I've never worn, maybe when I was younger, like a teenager, but I've never been like, oh, I can't wear those pair of heels because they really show off my feet and my feet are really bad at the moment. I don't think I've ever really thought that.
Oh, good.
Because I don't want it to be like, oh, okay, well, my ex was really bad there, so I can't wear that dress or I can't wear that top, because it's not going to change and no one's really going to notice it. I think people always think that everyone's staring at you when really everyone's just caring about themselves and the way that they look. Yeah. And everyone then thinks that they're looking at them. So I think that's just the way that things go. And I think I've got that mentality when I wear clothes and certain things. I'm like, well, no one's staring at me, so just wear the dress.
Yeah, wear the damn dress.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some things which help it, and we may have some listeners that are listening that may have a skin condition themselves. They may be a bit curious that they might be developing one, might have a baby that has one, all these kind of things. What has worked for you? So you mentioned heating on in the house dries your skin out.
Very much so, yeah.
So just like in layman's terms, for me mainly, when you say dry your skin out, does that mean that it stops it from itching, or?
No, it makes it very, very flaky, so therefore makes it thin. So you could touch it with a feather and it will cut. So if your skin's really dry, it's going to crack really easily and it's therefore going to cut if you scratch it.
Oh, so the drying your skin out is not what we want.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You want your skin
now
to be moisturised. Now I'm listening. I'm thinking,
right, you wear cream, so obviously not. But hopefully there's someone else that shares that question as me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't want the skin to be dried out.
Nope. No.
We want it to be like moisturised, saturated.
Very much so. Yeah. Okay. You want it to be as moisturised as possible if you've got this type of eczema. Some people have eczema that's raised and bumpy that you want it to be drier because it's quite oily, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But definitely with my eczema, atopic eczema, you do not want it to be dry. So a lot of body oils, but be careful about what body oil you use. You don't want to use perfumed ones. Right. Palmer's oil is the best thing on the planet.
Is that cocoa butter?
Yeah, the cocoa butter one.
Right.
It's I think it's like a fiver in Boots or something like that. That's really good. I use that a lot. Baths are the best. Loads of dermal bath oil. It's great. And Epsom bath salts. You can get those in TK Maxx, I think. But they're great. It's Dead Sea salt. Put that in your bath. That's great. lots of moisturizer constantly. My doctor's always told me at least 2 or 3 times a day, moisturize your whole body. That's what I do. And if it gets too hot and you feel like I don't know, a bit too moisturized, maybe I use ice rollers. So you get from Amazon. They're about a £5, I think. You put them in your freezer, take it out, and it's like an ice roller thing. It's the best thing on the planet. Honestly, it's incredible.
Does that cure the itching sort of desire as well?
Yeah. So if your eczema's really bad, it's itching loads, you feel so hot. Sometimes I do get way too hot. Bit of ice roller on your chest or your hands or your feet or whatever. Oh, it's the best thing on the planet. Yeah, it's honestly great. And then if you get eczema on your eyelids, which I do get quite a lot, you can get sleeping masks that you put in the freezer and then you take out and you sleep with those on. Great. It's great. Yeah. Stuff
See,
like
this is brilliant. You mentioned you love holidays and you like traveling. So heating in the house is not a good thing. What are you like in the sun?
Better.
Okay.
If I'm too hot, not great. So in the sun, but trying to stay cool is your best option. Being in the sea underneath the sun, best thing ever. It will hurt if you've got cracks on your skin or if it's really inflamed at the time, it's going to hurt and it's the worst pain ever. But after 5-10 minutes of being in the sea, you'll come out and your skin will look incredible. I know mine does anyway. It's the best remedies are natural stuff.
Right, okay.
Steroid creams are great and moisturizers are great, but natural things are the best. The sea, sun, not the sand. Sand is horrible for eczema, but sea and the sun, the best thing. So I'm like, I need to go on holiday because it's going to help cure my skin. But yeah.
And as you say, there's so many different types. So what might work for you might not work for somebody else. Does your body get used to things that you've used before and you've had to switch things up?
Yeah. So for instance, when you have shampoo, you change it out quite a lot because your hair gets used to it or your hair gets too greasy or it gets too dry. So you switch up your shampoo.
Yeah.
Same thing with moisturizer. I probably change up my moisturizer every 2 to 3 months, I'd probably say. And then I get different types of steroid cream. But it's very important not to use too much steroid cream because so my hands are quite wrinkly now because I've used so much steroid cream that it's thinned out my skin.
Right.
So you shouldn't use strong steroid creams on your face because that will therefore make your skin quite saggy. It can get eye bags and things like that just from using it too much. So vanity-wise, I don't use too much on my face. But yeah, I think... Sorry, what was the question again? I've gone completely off base.
I'm keeping this in because I actually messed up right at the beginning of this podcast. The question was, do you have to switch up what you use? Do things work and have they worked your whole life or do you have to chop and change it?
Chop and change it, definitely. It's good to use different things as well, especially if you think that cream is just taming it, but it's not curing it and you do think that, oh, this thing is really great. Try things. I know I said at the beginning, I don't like to try things too much, but I do try things every now and again. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I try not to use too many things just in case it inflames it. So you've got to try and keep that balance. But definitely switch up your moisturizer every now and again. It can help your skin loads, definitely.
Really helpful.
Yeah.
So the whole theme of this podcast is about real people, real stories, which is exactly what you are. And find somebody that has been through something in life but has managed to overcome it.
Yeah.
Now you're still living through this. However, the mindset that you have is a really positive and confident one. We've looked at how you've managed to get there.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of listeners' questions already, but if there was somebody listening to this that is really sort of self-conscious about their skin, what would you say to them? Or what would you like them to hear about how to sort of bring that confidence out in them?
I think you can't really help what's happening to your skin at the end of the day, whether that's eczema, whether that's spots on your face or anything like that. I promise you that no one else is going, oh God, that's grim. And if they are not the right people to be in your life at all. What is in the inside, and I know people say this quite a lot, but it is so true. What is in the inside matters so much more. I don't think I would have the friendships around me and the incredible family that I do if I wasn't kind to them or happy person or anything like that. I think being you is way more important than being like, oh God, I've got spots on my face. I can't go out and see people because, and I think you're not doing anything. Then you just get out there and be with people and be around people that love you and love you for you. It doesn't matter what you look like or what's going on with your skin. You're helping it. You're trying to tame it, but be you and go out and do things.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because we need to do that more, don't we? And as I mentioned earlier, like we've all got insecurities that might hold us back from doing something. But if we listen to those insecurities, so if we have skin condition, if we have, we're struggling with acne, whatever it is, weight gain, weight loss, and we think, no, I'm not going to go to that because people will judge me, or people might think, oh, you've had a breakout, or you've put on weight, or you're underweight.
Yeah.
The only person that is missing out on that event is you.
Yeah.
And no one really cares.
No.
No one cares that much.
No.
And as you said, if they do care, they're not your people.
Not at all.
They're really not your people.
No.
Because if I said, to anyone listening, to you, to me, what are the characteristics that you love in your friends? The one I would automatically think, right, well, they're funny, they're caring, they're loyal. These are the kind of things. I don't say, I really like their hair, or they've got lovely skin. That wouldn't be the first thing that I would think of. No. Because it's not what's important. When somebody passes away, is it ever spoken about? Oh yeah, well, they had this sort of feature, or they looked like this physically. It's always spoken about what character that they had.
Exactly.
Would you agree with that?
100%. I've heard you say that on here before, and I couldn't agree with it more. When I heard that, I thought, God, that's so true. You don't talk about things like that.
No.
And with my skin especially, I could not go away because I'm scared, oh, if I go away, then my skin might flare up. I can't go to these countries because what about if it flares up in that country and I don't have anything with me?
Yeah.
I've never, ever let it stop me from doing things, ever. I've travelled loads. I've lived abroad, worked abroad, done all these things. I've got loads of food allergies. I just make sure that I'm careful about things that, again, relate back to my eczema. But I just don't want to miss out on anything. And I don't want to miss out because I've had, I guess you could call it a setback, but I wouldn't call it. With my eczema, I don't think that it's never, ever stopped me from doing anything. I would never, ever let it. Because why would you?
What a woman. I love that. I've got some questions, but what I am interested just to touch on, you mentioned the allergies, like a nut allergy, fish, shellfish.
Yeah.
So what's that, like king prawns?
Yeah, like prawns, mussels, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Nice stuff.
Yeah. Have you had any like close calls with this, and how does it impact you if so?
I figured out that I had a nut allergy and a shellfish allergy when I was about 6 or 7, I think. Right. My parents got a curry. I think it was like a korma curry or something like that, which is filled with nuts, I think. And that then created an allergic reaction. They took me to hospital, and because I was anxious about that, then my skin got really bad because I was obviously really scared about it. I was obviously only still very little. And then they did loads of allergen tests, and they found out that I was allergic to a lot of different things. I'm allergic to eggs as well, weirdly, but not in a cake. So it's really weird. It's like when you cook an egg into something else, it loses this chemical. So I couldn't eat like egg on toast or like fried egg, but I could eat egg in a cake. It's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really, and trying to explain that to someone is really confusing. They're like, well, it's got egg in it. And I'm like, I know, but I can eat it, I promise. But I think it all relates back, and I think I've got asthma as well. It only happens with thunderstorms, really weirdly. I can't use certain types of hair dye. I've tried to get my hair dyed before, but I couldn't because I'm allergic to the toner. And the hairdresser said she's never seen anything like it. You know, when you do a patch test. Yeah. If I could recommend anything to anyone, please do a patch test. Whatever you do, if you get some different type of toner, if you're getting your eyelashes done or anything like that, always do a patch test. I know it sounds annoying to go do it, but please do.
What happened then?
My skin literally peeled off. It's like you'd set a lighter to my neck. It was crazy. And I thought, oh God, this feels a bit weird. And me and my friend were driving back from the salon, And I was like, oh God, it's burning a little bit. I was like, maybe that's just because it's just on my neck and I know it's there. And I came back and my friend Amy, she went, Erin, I'm going to take a picture of this because this is not okay. And my skin had literally peeled off. It looked like you'd set a match to my skin. It
I
was
am
crazy.
so glad that you have shared that story.
Yeah.
Because the amount of people, myself included, what have I really got to come in for a patch test?
Yeah.
Because it is annoying.
It is.
But I'm so glad that you've just shared that
Yeah.
of the importance of when it could actually go wrong.
100%. Because I would have had to shave my entire head if that was the case. And I would have been not happy about that.
No, you've
Yeah.
got beautiful hair. Right, okay. So, new thing for season 2, series 2, whatever we want to call it, of the podcast. We've got I went out on our stories and basically said, got this guest coming on, we're talking about this. Has anybody got any questions? So real people have actually responded, which I'm buzzing about. So the first question that we've got says, my baby's skin seems so reactive and I don't want to overreact, but I also don't want to miss anything. Should parents trust their gut and seek help?
100%.
Okay.
If you see something in your baby, in anything, I haven't got any children myself, but my sisters have got lots of kids. I've got lots and lots of baby cousins. If you see anything abnormal on your baby's skin, go to the doctor straight away and they will not think you're annoying. My mum took me straight away as soon as she found out that I had something on my skin. They will not be like, oh God, someone's coming in again. Get it checked out immediately, straight away.
Fantastic advice.
Yeah.
Because people do think that. Like I've got, how old's my little one now? She's nearly 4 months and she had a cough the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I take her to the doctors or is the doctor going to... And I thought, I can be seen as annoying, but the cough isn't going away. And my doctor did say, oh, babies do cough. And I said, I'm well aware of that, but I'm a new mom, I'm a first-time mom, and I just want to get checked.
Exactly.
So that's great advice. Any concerns, take them to the doctors.
100%.
And would the doctors be the first thing that they would do? They wouldn't go to like A&E or anything like that, would it be?
I would go straight to your GP. And then if it's a really severe condition, they might refer you back to hospital.
They could then refer you on.
I don't know what they did with me. I don't think I've ever asked my mum that question, but she took me straight to our GP and then it went all from there.
Through those kind of channels?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay. So then the second question that we've got, one of our listeners has said that her daughter suffers terribly with eczema. So she's around the 16 sort of age and they've literally tried everything. So the doctor has advised that they buy all organic natural creams and then she's tried them. She's also made her own cream consistent of olive oil, coconut oil, but her skin seems to get used to everything. So this is sort of what we were speaking about earlier, that is common then, that your skin can then get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what she's basically said is, she said some of the other things that she's been using, but she said that she wears a solid white gold bangle and they're now beginning to think that she's allergic to it and it's making her eczema worse because she's had it 1.5 years and it's become worse. Any suggestions on this would be welcome.
Okay. I think in terms of jewellery, I don't really wear that much jewellery.
Okay.
I have to be careful with what I do wear. I don't wear any rings or anything like that. I do wear my bracelets that I wear every day. But I think if it's becoming something that's affecting her, then I would just recommend just not wearing it. I know it's really annoying not to.
Yeah.
But if it's making your skin bad, unfortunately, it's just not worth it. I think you said she was 16, did you say?
Yeah.
If the school would allow her to, I would get your nails done. And I know this sounds really weird.
Oh, okay.
But getting acrylic nails, I get my acrylic nails done all the time. And I like to say my excuses, but it genuinely is a real thing. Because they're blunt and they're thick than your normal nails, they won't cut into your skin as much. It's kind of like scratching your skin with a pebble. Because they're so blunt.
Well, they're rubbish for scratching, aren't they?
They're terrible.
Yeah.
But they will help your skin so much. When I lived in America in 2023, I think, I was working at a summer camp. You can't really get your nails done in a summer camp. You live in the middle of the woods. And I got my nails done before I went. And because it was 9 weeks, obviously I had to come off at a certain time. I got them off. My skin was terrible because I was using my natural nails and because I was used to getting my acrylics done. But if you've got acrylics, if you get them short as well, so they're not really long because they might snap or anything like that. But yeah, getting acrylic nails done are the best thing. Ice rollers, great. I think, like I said before, I don't want to recommend the types of creams that might have worked for me because it might not work for them. But I use One Base moisturizer, which is really good. You can get that from your GP. Dermal
So
bath
you can't go
salts.
to Boots to get that.
I don't think so. You
Right,
might be able
okay.
to. You might do, but I get it from my GP.
Right.
You dermal bath salts. You can get those. Bath oil. Can get that on Amazon because that's where I get mine. And QV body wash, best thing on the planet.
Oh,
Best thing. My sister uses it for her babies,
yeah.
and it's the best. If you want a bath oil, a shower gel, use that. It's the
Fabulous.
best. Yeah.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And in terms of, I'm just double checking that we've answered everything that she's asked here.
Yeah.
Just about the bangles. So you'd maybe say if something is irritating,
Yeah.
even if she could maybe try taking it off for a little bit, see if it makes a difference.
Maybe, yeah. That's what I would probably say. Just take it off for now, see if it makes a difference. If it's not making a difference, then yeah, put it back on. Why not? But if it is hurting your skin, unfortunately, it's just not worth it. And just take it off, and then have it there as a little momentum in a little nice dish. That's what I would do.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is all from our listeners' questions, which is mental to even say it. But to sort of round up our podcast today, thank you so much for sharing your story of 6 months old baby not being able to sleep. You know, mum's trying everything under the sun to be able to help you with this, different creams, oils and stuff like this. But you've literally given us a timeline to where you are now, where you're literally, you know, you're just embracing it.
Yeah.
And you've given an insight into how other people can embrace it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If somebody's listening to this, takes this on board, just to reiterate, what was it that we were saying? Your skin is just on the outside.
100%.
No one really cares. And if they do,
fog them off.
Yeah. They're not your people.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. So in terms of sort of what we've shared today, you're going on holiday soon, aren't you?
Next week.
And where are you going?
Thailand. Can't wait.
So very hot country.
Very much so, yeah.
So what are you going to take with you in terms of like creams and stuff? You got to take loads of stuff or you're just going to...
Yeah, half of my luggage is my creams, unfortunately.
Wow.
But that's fine. As long as I'm having a good time, my skin's okay. I'm not bothered. I will be taking my full tub of shower gel just because my worst nightmare is to be stuck in a country where they don't do non-perfume shower gels. And then that's it. My skin's ruined for the rest of the trip. And
it would happen that quickly.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. That quick. Overnight, if I don't use moisturiser, I'll wake up in the morning and my skin will be terrible. So I have to make sure I'm using the same stuff, as in that way I'll have a good time. If my skin's okay, I'll be okay.
Oh.
But I've got to make sure that I bring all those things. In terms of keeping myself cool and not scratching too much, my ice roller, we're bringing that with me. And hopefully the ones that we have like a little fridge or a freezer or something like that.
Or get a cup of ice, take it with you and put it in. Oh, do you having a drink somewhere?
That. That's such a good idea. Yeah. I'm going to do that. And I'm doing that now. And a neck fan. You can get those on Amazon. They're really good because I get eczema on my neck.
Right.
So definitely that for like the plane, travelling. And what else would I bring? Just cool, light clothes. So pyjamas that are cotton are really good for my eczema. I'm very particular about my pyjamas, so I have to have cotton ones.
What's bad for your eczema pyjama wise? What would you silk?
Terrible.
Because it's like sweaty and gets you hot.
And it sticks to my dry skin.
Oh,
the actual fibres in the silk stick to my dry skin. It is the worst thing ever. So I would never use silk. A lot of like polyester wouldn't really touch that. Yeah. But silk or linen, no, not silk, cotton or linen pyjamas, the best thing. And shorts and short tops.
Well, you're going to have the best time.
I can't wait.
And I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for sharing your story and, being brave enough to share your story. But I don't even see it like that, because it's not brave to share it, but actually having the courage to come onto a podcast, no matter what you're talking about, but sharing your story so the listeners can sort of take note of what you've said. They might be struggling with it, their friend might, they might have children that have, but also seeing how confident and beautiful you are.
Oh, thank you.
Skin is skin,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it really is. And I think because I've always been told to love myself by my mom and my family, that it actually has done that, no matter if I have got a skin condition or not. Surrounding yourself with people that love you and love you for you is the biggest thing for me in my life. And for anyone else, I would recommend that as well. Just surround yourself with people that are positive and loving.
Because if not, they're not your people.
Nope, not at all.
Well, thank you, my love.
I
hope you have the best holiday.
Thank you.
I'm going to send you that elephant sanctuary thing
Please
that we
do.
spoke about, and you need to then send me pictures from
Promise.
your holiday.
Promise.
All right, my love.
Thank
we are
you.
all done.
Thank you.
Woohoo!